So the number one dream killer in this high ticket sales space is not being able to find and land a quality sales opportunity where you can actually make money. So for most of you guys, again, newly trained closers invested, 97 to $10,000 on a sales training program. Upon completion, there's typically a 3 week to a 3 month period, a time frame where most people are going to quit. And I don't say this to scare you. It's just the reality that I've seen. I've been in this space for over 3 years now. And that is the common denominator, is not being able to find and land a quality sales role. But typically that happens within 3 weeks to 3 months. And so the reason why that is, as you graduate, your sales training program, week one, you're still pretty excited, right? You're leveraging the tactics that were taught to you as far as join Facebook groups and comment interested and network, right? But what does that even mean? Like, what does network even mean? Like, they don't really give you a strategy, a step-by-step system and how to network accordingly and effectively and efficiently, right? And so when they give you these vague tactics, you go out and you start implementing them. They don't work. So 1 week goes on. Yes, you're excited. You're kind of getting, you're joining all the Facebook groups. You're getting in the you're getting in the groove of things, we'll just say, and you feel pretty decent about yourself. Week two comes along, and then you start to, slow down a little bit. You start to kind of question things. You start to get, rejected and DQ'd when you are, communicating with online business owners or sales recruiters. And you're starting to understand that it's actually a lot more challenging than what was initially pitched to you. And then by the end of week three, if you haven't landed an interview, or if you have, typically they're startups and they're extremely, excited to hire you. There's scams, there's life insurance, right? And so you're just completely susceptible and to getting involved with a shady opportunity, or an opportunity that's not that doesn't have the ability to pay you, or MLM, life insurance, whatever that looks like, because you don't know what you don't know. You're new to the high ticket sales space. You're trying to figure this stuff out. You don't really know how to navigate it. You're not familiar, right? And so most of you, let's just say this is your first time investment, especially if it was, let's just say a higher ticket item from $3,000 to $10,000, like that was the scary part, right? But if this is your first investment, most of you guys, and I don't mean to disrespect in any way, shape, or form here, but business and entrepreneurship, it's not easy. It's not just making one investment and it's a one and done thing. It requires actually a very specific mindset. And so if you haven't done anything, as far as business or entrepreneurship before, this requires mindset. And if you haven't been working on yourself, self-help, personal development, if you haven't been reading the books, like, this is going to be extremely challenging for you. And so that's why I say there's typically, after that third week, that's when there's typically a steady decline. And when you kind of hit that wall of like, holy shit, like, what do I do from here? I haven't gotten any results. I haven't landed any interviews. The only people that are, hired, the only, opportunities that I'm finding are startups, scams, life insurance, and MLM. And that's not why you invested thousands of dollars into a sales training, to get into those types of opportunities, or even, but at the same time, it becomes very frustrating. You start to get discouraged, right? And it starts to really weigh on you. And so most of you guys don't have the mindset to continue after that third week, between that third month. That's when a lot of people actually fall off the boat, and they call it quits to their aspirations of becoming a high ticket closer. So there's a lot of minute details that really go into this. But again, teach, your high ticket sales training, they really are not focusing on the really important part. And I call this a skill set, which is your ability to find and land a quality sales role. You know, if you sit there and you think about it, how much time did your high ticket sales training program really teach you about networking, building your sales pro foundation, building a strategic network, strategically communicating, right? How much time did they actually spend teaching you this skill set or those skills? Not much. I assure you, right? It might be, 30 minutes or so. It might be up to, some others might be up to 3 hours of content. This is what I focus on 100%. It's teaching people how to find and land quality sales opportunities and making money as an SDR, right? I've got over, let's just say, I got between 12 and 16 hours of content designed very specifically in a step-by-step process that actually focuses 100% on how to find and land a quality sales opportunity, because that's the number one issue. It's the number one dream killer in this space. When you start to think about it and you start to, look around and you're the network that you have built, from your sales training, doing role plays and things of that nature, just think about how many of your, let's just say, associates, friends, or, these relationships of people trying to get into the high ticket sales space. Think of how many people have already quit. They've already fell off the face of the earth because they haven't been able to land a job. They had no success in landing interviews. And ultimately, the root cause is your sales training is focusing on sales training and teaching you how to close, but they're not teaching you how to find and land a quality sales opportunity. Therefore, that's the number one dream killer in this space. And typically for most of you guys, there's a 3-week to a 3-month time frame that usually happens. Again, I don't say this to scare you. It's more about educating you and creating an awareness so that way you guys can continue to press forward and persevere through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and the high ticket sales space. That way you can revert back to and say, hey, actually Thomas said that this was going to happen. And that way, when it does happen, you already expect it to happen, and therefore it's part of the process. That enables you to keep again, persevering, putting your head down and keep going, because it's something that you anticipated. So again, number one dream killer in this high ticket sales space is your inability to find and land a quality sales role that's actually going to make you money after you complete your sales training program.